The year is 1403. Europe is a continent in turmoil. The Catholic Church, once the unchallenged power, is riddled with corruption and internal strife. Welcome to Cryptic Mystic Vault, where we explore the enigmatic tales and unsolved puzzles of history. From the heart of this chaos in the Kingdom of Bohemia, a firestorm of rebellion ignites. This is the Hussite Revolution, a struggle that will shake the foundations of the medieval world. The Czech people, long simmering under the weight of injustice, are finally rising. They are fueled by a potent mix of religious fervor and social anger. They are led by charismatic figures who dare to challenge the very authority of Rome. The Bohemian landscape, dotted with forests and rolling hills, becomes a battleground between the might of the Holy Roman Empire and the fierce determination of the Hussite rebels. The cobblestone streets of Prague, the majestic capital, echo with the chants of protest and the clang of armor. The Hussite Revolution is a pivotal moment that will redefine the religious and political landscape of Europe. At the heart of this revolution stands Jan Hus, a figure of immense charisma and conviction. A theologian and scholar, Hus dared to question the doctrines of the Catholic Church. He rails against the excesses and corruption of the clergy. He preaches in the language of the people, his words igniting a spark of defiance in their hearts. Hus's message resonates deeply within Bohemia. The peasantry, burdened by poverty and injustice, sees in him a champion of their cause. The lower nobility, chafing under the dominance of the German elite, is drawn to his call for reform. But Hus's audacity does not go unchallenged. The Church, threatened by his growing influence, brands him a heretic. Summoned to the Council of Constance in 1415, Hus is promised safe passage. He arrives armed with nothing but his faith and the hope of a fair hearing. On July 6, 1415, he is burned at the stake, his ashes scattered in the Rhine. The execution of Jan Hus transforms the religious discontent into a full-blown rebellion. The Bohemian people, outraged by this act of perceived injustice, take up arms. They find their military leader in the towering figure of Jan Žižka, a one-eyed warrior of legendary cunning and ferocity. Žižka, a veteran of countless battles, molds the Hussite army into a formidable force. Under his command, they develop innovative tactics, turning their lack of sophisticated weaponry into an advantage. The Taborites, named after their stronghold of Tabor, represent the radical wing of the movement. They advocate for a complete overhaul of society, embracing egalitarian principles and rejecting the traditional hierarchy of the church. Despite their differences, these factions unite under the banner of Hussite faith, forming a formidable force against their enemies. The Hussite armies, lacking the resources of their wealthy adversaries, resort to ingenuity. They turn ordinary farm wagons into mobile fortresses. These war wagons, reinforced with iron plates and bristling with cannons and handguns, become a defining symbol of the Hussite Revolution. The Hussite soldiers, many of them peasants with first-hand knowledge of the land, use their familiarity with the terrain to their advantage. They engage in guerrilla warfare, ambushing their enemies in forests and hills, striking swiftly and disappearing before reinforcements can arrive. The Battle of Sudis in 1420 showcases the effectiveness of Hussite tactics. A vastly outnumbered Hussite force positioned on a hilltop uses a combination of war wagons, archers, and disciplined infantry to rout the charging crusaders. The victory sends shockwaves through Europe. The Catholic Church launches 5 crusades against the Hussites. Each time, the might of the Holy Roman Empire is met with fierce resistance. The Hussite Revolution is not simply a military conflict. It is a social and religious upheaval that challenges the very fabric of medieval society. The Hussites, inspired by the teachings of Jan Hus, demand a radical transformation of the Church. They call for an end to clerical corruption, the translation of the Bible into the vernacular language, and the right of the laity to receive communion in both kinds. The Hussites establish their own religious communities, governed by elected councils rather than bishops appointed by Rome. They preach a doctrine of personal piety and direct access to God, challenging the Church's role as the sole intermediary between humanity and the divine. The Taborites in particular advocate for a radical form of social equality. They believe in the communal ownership of property and strive to create a society where wealth is shared more equitably. The Hussite movement empowers the peasantry and challenges the entrenched power structures of feudalism. The Hussite Wars, a series of bloody conflicts that rage for over 2 decades, leave an indelible mark on Europe. The Hussite forces, led by skilled commanders like Prokop the Great, continue to defy the combined might of the Holy Roman Empire. They raid deep into German territory, spreading fear and demonstrating the reach of their power. The Hussite victories forced the Catholic Church to the negotiating table. The Compacts of Basel, signed in 1436, represent a significant victory for the Hussites. While not granting full recognition of their doctrines, the compacts allow for religious freedom within Bohemia. The Hussites are granted the right to practice their faith, including receiving communion in both kinds. However, internal divisions eventually weaken the Hussite movement. The Utraquists, increasingly willing to compromise with the Church, clash with the more radical Taborites. Despite this setback, the Hussite Revolution leaves an enduring legacy. The Hussite Revolution stands as a testament to the power of faith, the courage of conviction, and the enduring human desire for freedom. The Hussite legacy extends far beyond the borders of Bohemia. Their defiance of religious orthodoxy inspires later reformers like Martin Luther and John Calvin. The Hussites' emphasis on personal piety and their translation of the Bible into the Czech language paved the way for the Protestant Reformation's emphasis on Scripture and the individual's direct relationship with God. The Hussite use of innovative military tactics, particularly their war wagons, influences the development of warfare in Europe. Their ability to withstand multiple crusades demonstrates the power of a determined populace fighting for its beliefs. The Hussite Revolution also plays a crucial role in shaping Czech national identity. The memory of Jan Hus and the Hussite warriors serves as a potent symbol of Czech resistance against oppression. Their fight for religious freedom, social justice, and the right to resist oppression continues to inspire movements for change around the world. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing discoveries and thrilling adventures into the past.